may be hard to believe, but I like rocks. I like rocks. I do. And I decided to, I actually had a different title for this message, but I decided to do this. There's a comedian, I don't know his name, but at the fire department we joke around, and this has become like a saying that we say a lot, but it's like, hey, this goes perfect, so I like rocks. But here's the thing, thinking about this, I kind of think we all like rocks. Now, I don't want to confuse anybody, so Pee-wee, I'm not talking about landscaping rocks. All right. Stacy, I'm not talking about river rocks. All right. Carmen, I'm not talking about the rocks you decorate around your mailbox. Okay. I'm talking about these emotional rocks that we pick up and we grip relationally. Like these spiritual rocks that we hold on to and that we grab onto. And I think that we like them so much because without even knowing, as we grip a hold of these rocks, they start to form something in us before we ever even release them. Have you ever seen somebody, and I know I'm going to go back and forth with spiritual rocks and like actual physical rocks, so Ocean, don't get confused. Becky, maybe help him out. But have you ever seen like somebody carrying a rock? No?
Yeah, you right now.
But if you walked outside your house and you saw somebody walking with a rock like this down the street, you would be like, they are up to no good. Right?
Yeah.
I remember growing up in the neighborhood. I grew up in Indian River Estates, and there was this kid. I don't remember his name, but I do remember he always had rocks in his hand. And oh yes, he threw them. Yeah. Not sure where he is at right now, Heath, but if he didn't change his ways, he's probably, Rock Road, yeah. Thank you so much. But if we grab a hold of this rock, like your whole position changes. The way you walk changes. Once you grip a hold of a rock. And I would say the same thing happens emotionally and spiritually when we grab a hold of a rock. Because a lot of times we don't even realize that we have picked up that rock and we're holding that rock until our hearts start to become tight. Our tone becomes sharp. And everything becomes an argument. You ever want a sign that you're carrying around rocks? Everything will be an argument. Everything makes you mad. You're ready to argue with anybody. Not like just a little friendly debate, like argument. And most likely you'll never think it's you. It's somebody else. But then that rock starts to form who you are physically and spiritually. It starts shaping who you are without even realizing it. So I think we all like rocks sometimes. Because rocks are the thing that gives us the I'm better than you. It gives you that advantage. Oh, so-and-so doesn't work as hard as I do. So-and-so doesn't come to church as much as I do. So-and-so don't read the Bible as much as I do. So-and-so doesn't give in the offering as much as I do. And slowly but surely, that rock begins to form who you are. So yeah, I like rocks. I'll admit it. I like rocks. I've thrown my share of rocks. But Jesus, he likes empty hands. Because if we're holding rocks, we can't receive what he has for us.
Amen.
So I'm going to tell you a story of something that happened recently. Quite frankly, I'm lucky to be alive and be here today. I'll tell you why. Something happened on Friday. Friday afternoon, I pulled up to the church. And my heart started beating a little faster because I knew immediately I messed up. And I noticed, I walked into the sanctuary, and they were setting up for the ladies' tea. That was Saturday afternoon. And it looked beautiful. I mean, it put Pinterest to shame. Centerpieces, bows, the tables were perfectly set, tablecloths, and these ladies were beaming with excitement. The problem was, I forgot that those ladies had asked to do the tea in the sanctuary. Usually they're in the social hall. They asked to do it here. And I forgot to tell Violet to put on the calendar that I had rented the sanctuary out to a theater group, and they were doing a play that same Friday night. And I had to come in and tell them that we had to put 100 chairs back out and break down the things that they have taken 2 days to set up. Remember? I swear to God, I saw rocks in their eyes. Yeah. And needless to say, they weren't happy. I'd messed up. And it got a little heated. And I'm not proud of this, but my voice, I raised my voice a little bit. Something I don't normally do. There's one of the ladies said, I never heard Pastor Jimmy raise his voice before. It doesn't happen often, but I did. And and I forgot to mention, it wasn't just there was a few ladies, but there was also Deacon Bob. It's always Deacon. There's ladies, there's going to be Deacon Bob, right? Yeah. Duh. But it didn't take long. After a few minutes, like 5 minutes of a little elevated stress, elevated voice on my part, rocks in their eyes, something that I would say, something holy happened, because they made the choice to drop their rocks and as a result extended mercy and grace to me. And they worked together. We moved the tables. We figured out a way to try to keep as much stuff set up. And Bob and Amy came back that night at 8, and we set some stuff up, and the kids from Stage Fright helped. And but here's the beautiful thing, that the play went off amazing, packed the place out. And then the ladies' tea was beautiful. And they had, how many ladies again, Violet? 62 ladies. They came here. And many people probably didn't even know about what had happened. And I thought it was, here's the cool thing. And I don't want to say, oh, I'm glad this happened. Because that kind of let me off the hook. I messed up. I should have put on the calendar. There's other things I should have done. But grace and mercy produce something that perfection never would have. And this is what happens when we extend mercy and we extend grace. Because I think a lot of people don't know the difference of it. But they work hand in hand. So we got a little sketch right here. We got that slide of, looks like a chalkboard. Yes. So see the difference. So first comes mercy, and then mercy produces grace. So mercy, what happens is with mercy, withholds punishment. And I don't want to go to those ladies and ask them what the punishment they had in their mind for me. But whatever it was, I can tell you it was withheld. But then grace, it gives and it empowers. And what they did is they covered my mistake. And it produced something that perfection never would have. And that's what happens with grace and with mercy. Which brings me to this, my next point. The other day, I would say 3 weeks ago maybe, I got done doing my devotions in the morning, and then I was brushing my teeth. I know, very spiritual moment, brush my teeth. And I got this thought that came to my head. And it was, grace grows the church. And it was like, a lot of thoughts hit my head daily. But this hit, grace grows the church. And I was like, okay. I'm not really sure what that means, but grace grows the church. A little later on that day, Pastor Mark and I were talking, and he said something that went right along with this, and I believe it was confirmation. He said, maybe, I was been thinking, maybe we should do like 2 months of like a series where all the pastors, we just talk about grace. Which then I was like, why are you saying that? Because that's been sticking with me, grace grows the church. And he said, well, back when I was in Virginia, I did that. I started just doing messages and talking about grace. And we started growing leaps and bounds. So many people started coming, and I was just talking about grace. Just something so simple. And then I was like, and I didn't even tell Pastor Mark at the time. I was like, grace grows the church. And I was like, yeah, I'm on board. Let's go with it. But then I started thinking about this. Yeah, grace grows the church, but grace also grows people. It grows relationships. Because I'm telling you right now, like the relationship between me and those ladies, it grew. Some of them, Pat, might still be mad a little bit. But it grew in that relationship. Grace grows marriages. You can't have a healthy marriage without grace. Grace grows families, and grace grows the church. Grace grows the church. I've never seen a church grow with a whole bunch of people with rocks in their hands. I've never seen a person grow with a rock in their hand. I've never seen a marriage grow with rocks in their hands. And if one person in the marriage grabs a rock, the other person's going to grab a rock too. And now you got two people grabbing a rock. And at some point, you're going to have to make the decision, are you going to drop the rock? Think we're going to drop the rock at the same time. No, it don't work that way. But mercy withholds punishment. And then after that comes, it gives and it empowers. It gives and it empowers. So it goes hand in hand. So I want to discuss this thought that I think we all have. And if you've never had this thought, that's awesome. I have. And I think if the only way that you haven't is you haven't been in church for that long. I don't even think you have to go to church to have this thought. Because a lot of times we say this or we have this thought of, I need to get right with God. Anybody? And then that thought grows because you have people in positions like me that get up here because it's what we're trained to do, and I have done it, and we say things like, today who wants to get right with God? Raise your hand this morning if you want to get right with God. No, but there's a demonstration. Put your hands down. Put your hands down. Oh, yeah. Y'all need this sermon really bad. Or it will escalate because people will say, you need to get right with God. And that's a lot of pressure. You need to get right with God. And here's the thing. It sounds spiritual. Super spiritual. Right? It sounds humble. Oh, you're admitting that you need to get right with God. It sounds noble. But happy birthday. But Pee-wee, here's the problem with it. If you could have got right with God on your own, you would have already done it by now. Coming here today does not just get you right with God. All right, let's be honest. How many of you have ever came into a church service, you came here, you got into the worship, you got stuff out of the sermon, you're like, yeah, you're on fire. You walk out those doors, somebody during that same day makes you mad or your football team loses.
What?
Or something you expected to happen didn't happen, and you got mad, and maybe even Brandy said a few curse words. Shook her head yes. Yes, probably is. And here's the thing, like, it sounds great, you need to get right with God, but it's kind of backwards. I mean, you can't even get your email box situated right. Right? I think my email box right now, my Gmail has like 168,000 unread messages. My kids are like, Dad, you need to delete some of these. You know how long it would take me to delete those messages? I had two choices. I either pay for the extended space, or I just say I'm going to start a new email. Either way, I'm just going to get more unread emails. I mean, I can't even get calendar events right. Right? I mean, see, the gospel is not get right with God. But the gospel is God got right with you. So we're going to go to the story, and it's found in John chapter 8, verse 2 through 11. And I've done a lot of messages on this story. It's one of my favorite. But there's something that I've noticed that I want to point out and highlight when this story is read. And this is a story that's called the is famously called the adulterous woman. But it starts in John chapter 8. We're going to start in verse 2. It's on those papers that I gave you, but it was also up here on the Sky Bible. And this is the New King James Version. We're starting with verse 2. It says, "Now early in the morning, he came again into the temple," talking about Jesus, "and all the people came to him, and he sat down and he taught them." So nice little peaceful teaching of Scripture. "Then the scribes and the Pharisees brought to him a woman caught in adultery." I want to point out, they were just doing a regular service. It'd be like this, like teaching, and then here comes like the deacons and the elders, and they throw this woman that, well, she was just caught in the very act of adultery, so most likely she didn't have any clothes on, maybe a sheet wrapped around her, I don't know, but it would have been a very dramatic scene, right? I mean, if it happened here at Pharaoh, you'd be like, oh, man, I hope this is getting caught on the live stream. We're going viral today. "And when they had set her in the midst, they said to him, 'Teacher, this woman was caught in adultery, in the very act.'" Very strange, just point out. "Now Moses and the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what do you say?" This they said, testing him, that they might have something of which to accuse him. So they weren't like, hey, we need to make sure the law is followed. No, they were trying to trick Jesus. "But Jesus stooped down and wrote on the ground with his finger as though he did not hear them." Now, there's been people that speculated. I've heard a lot of messages and sermons about this. People speculate and try to tell you what Jesus was writing. The truth is, we don't know. If someone was telling you, it is pure speculation. We can make an educated guess, but we don't know. I kind of like to think of it because when my kids were younger, they don't do it as much anymore. They love to tell on each other if one of them were doing wrong. And sometimes, Stacy, I would just act like I didn't even hear them. "Dad!" I'd turn the TV up a little louder. This was like Jesus, to me, it's like Jesus' version of like turning the TV up a little louder. He got in the dirt and just started messing with the dirt. Which also, I think, is symbolic that we serve a God who's not afraid to get in the dirt with us. We think we got to clean ourselves up. No, Jesus gets in the dirt with us to pull us out. Verse 7, "So when they continued asking him, he raised himself up and said to them, 'He who is without sin among you, let him throw a stone at her first.' And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. Then those who heard it, being convicted by their conscience, went out one by one, beginning with the oldest even to the last. From the oldest to the youngest." By the way, side note, that's how Jesus forgives your sins. From the oldest sin to the newest sin, you've been forgiven. "And Jesus, left alone, and the woman standing in the midst." It's just Jesus and this woman, which, by the way, I want to remind you, it wasn't just these leaders that threw this woman there that was there. It was all the people Jesus was talking to, like the whole congregation. They had left as well. Which, I mean, can you blame them? Like, it'd be like, this is getting a little uncomfortable. We're out. We'll just watch it on the live stream. We'll watch it on YouTube a little bit later. This is uncomfortable. "When Jesus had raised himself up and saw no one but the woman, he said to her, 'Woman, where are those?'" I don't think he said it like that. I don't think he said, "Woman!" I don't think so. I think he said, no, I think it would be a little nicer. So, "Woman, where are those accusers of yours? Has no one condemned you?" She looks around. She looks up. Probably the first time she's looked up in a long time. I mean, they were saying, "You need to kill this woman." She thought she was going to die. So head hung low, embarrassed, thrown in front of all these people. She looks up. There's nobody there. She said, no one's here. And Jesus said to her, neither do I condemn you. Now this next part is what I feel is one of the most misunderstood statements in all of the Bible. And us Christians love to weaponize this part. I'll explain. But he says, neither do I. Go and sin no more. Then verse 12 says, then Jesus spoke to them again, saying, I am the light of the world. He who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of life. Anytime you talk about grace or love, you put a statement up on social media about grace or love, it's just a matter of time until somebody puts up a comment that says, and Jesus also said, go and sin no more. And it's like, I think a lot of times people think that when we talk about mercy and grace, we ignore sin, or we are watering down the gospel. Here's the problem with that thought. If you've ever tried to love someone who is unlovable, it is not easy. It is very difficult. So we're saying, hey, it's just a cop-out. Oh, we're just supposed to love everyone. No. That's the hardest thing to do. That, I would even say that you can't do that unless you have Jesus. And isn't it a little odd? I mean, can we just get real? Like, it's a little odd. This huge dramatic scene takes place. This woman thinks she's going to die by stones being thrown at her. I just wanted to let you guys know and make sure you know that's what we're talking about, Patty Grace, when I say being stoned to death. Some people, this generation, this day and time, somebody might think something different. Throwing these stones at them. She's embarrassed. She's confused. Thought she was going to die. And I'm just going to say, she probably, to get in this position that she's in, she had a lot of hurt and a lot of baggage carrying around with her. And Jesus shows her the compassion and says, sweetie, look up. Who's here? Where's your accusers? And she looks up. She says, there's nobody here to accuse me. And Jesus, the one person that could accuse her, says, neither do I. Can you feel it? The weight being lifted? But then he makes the statement. And here in my mind, when I read this, Jesus talks in a regular voice all the way till he gets to this. And then he gets to this part of it. And then he's like, and go and sin no more, you hear? Like he's from Okeechobee or something. But did he just go through that dramatic scene just to tell her, hey, you need to stop sinning? Yeah, you're forgiven. Yeah, I'm not here to accuse you. Just you got to stop. You got to stop that funny business. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like, it's kind of odd. And then the very next verse, he goes and talks about how he's the light of the world. Like, something's out of place here if this is what this means. I mean, anybody think, unless if she like took 10 steps and then died, anybody think she didn't sin again? So to go and sin no more, like something like you need to be perfect. And by the way, if that's your goal, and this is a batting average, I'm just going to tell you, you need to bat 1,000 because he is 1,000. I mean, pretty much what Jesus was saying is, if we're going to take it this way, and he's saying, hey, I'm not here to accuse you, go and sin no more. It's kind of like he's saying, hey, it's okay, you can get up, you can go, but hey, stop it. Just like, stop it. I mean, you telling me that God put skin and bones on, went through all of this, virgin birth, kind of a difficult thing, And the message of the gospel is, stop it. I mean, we get that from our elementary teachers. How many parents we have here? How many times have you told your kids to stop it? Did they? No. Stop it. Oh, Jesus. Hey, guys. Jesus told me to stop it. I can't believe I didn't think about this. That's all I had to do. So much wisdom. Hey, got it figured out, guys. I'm just going to stop it. I mean, can we even argue with that? I don't think you got to be a Christian to know, hey, you need to stop doing bad things. We can't really even argue with that, right? But is that the gospel? Stop it? It's like Jesus handed this woman a spiritual Fitbit and said, you need to take 10,000 righteous steps a day. It's like Jesus gave her mercy and grace and then became her spiritual patrol officer. I don't know. And a lot of times we get to places that just kind of don't add up in the Bible, and then we use the whole, I think it's like a cop-out a lot of times, like his ways are higher than our ways. So there's some stuff that we're just not supposed to understand. My argument to that would be, then why is it in the Bible? Because, I think a lot of times we're just like, oh, that's going to be too hard, but do you dig? Do you try to find it? Yeah, I'll admit, there's times I read stuff and I don't get it, and I don't understand it, and there's still some stuff, but I'm going to search that out. So this is what I want to tell you. So in the original language, in the Greek language, what this means to us now is to go and sin no more. This lady would have not understood it the same way. This would not have been Jesus just saying, hey, I just saved you. Your accusers are gone. Now stop it. And then goes back and goes, I'm the light of the world. That's confusing. Confusing. But so I want you to look at this is the original. We got the original Greek up there. We got that slide, the one of the original Greek. No, not the other one. That's the original Greek. So obviously, you guys see my point. Yeah. Go ahead, take a note, write that down. So next slide. This makes it a little bit easier. Hureu, kaya, apu, tu nun meg, ke te, ha, mar, te ne. All right, guys, you guys are dismissed. That's what it originally said. So, the word pureu In the Greek, to go doesn't mean to, hey, go away from me. Go away. It's not what it, but what it means is, hey, go and walk in this new destiny you just found out about. Go and begin this new journey. Move in a different direction. This wasn't, hey, go and bet 1,000. It says you just received something you didn't know you could ever receive. Now you go and live the rest of your life trying to figure out what this is all about. You go and you walk in your new identity. You are not your past mistakes. You are a child of God. You were created with purpose. This woman probably never felt like she had purpose before. And Jewish history tells us, ancient Jewish history, there's stuff written about this lady, that she went on from that moment and she started sharing about what happened and about this mercy and about this grace that was extended to her. And so many people became believers of Jesus because of that. Oh, did she go and sin again? 100%. She mess up again? Yeah. Did she have to get some stuff straight and figure some stuff out? And yeah, we don't know what her history was. We don't know all the baggage. We don't know what all she was doing. But this wasn't Jesus putting burden on her to go, I'm going to be watching you. You go and sin no more. This was Jesus setting her free. Hey, I'm not accusing you. You've been set free. Go and figure out what this is about. And that's the same thing he's saying to us. Because we've been extended mercy. And as a result, we have received grace. Now here's my question, though. Do you extend that same grace to other people, or are you holding on to this stone? And I get it. People get uneasy when we talk about grace. Because they think we're just ignoring sin. We're not ignoring sin. No, grace is not about ignoring sin. What grace is Jesus planting a flag right in the middle of the place that sin thought it owned. And saying, you have no authority here. You have no power here. Not ignoring it. It's not acting like it doesn't happen. But it's Jesus saying, Heath, you're not that sin. You're not that thing. Stacy, you're not your past. Paul, you're not your mess ups. See, Jesus was giving her an invitation to something bigger than she ever knew existed. And he's doing the same thing right now. So today, he's inviting you to drop that rock. We know you like it. I like rocks too. Do we extend that same grace? And until you drop those rocks that you're holding on to, you'll never receive fully what he has for you. We don't understand, Jimmy, what they've done to me. You don't understand how many rocks they've thrown at me. Okay? You can keep throwing them right back. But can I ask you this? Do you like the person you become by letting these rocks form who you are? Because every time you take a rock and you pick it up and you throw it, a part of you dies. He hasn't called you to throw rocks. That's why none of us are Major League Baseball players. So this is an invitation to today. What rocks do you need to drop? What rocks have you walked in here with? Have you walked in here with that rock of, maybe it's just with that idea of I need to get right with God and it's just not working. I'm just messing up, and you're so hard on yourself and you're just beating yourself up with that rock that you're holding. Because a lot of us do that. Is it judgment? You've been judging somebody? Oh, they just don't get it. Oh, they don't know what this Jesus thing's all about. Is it shame? Is it self-hate? I have a feeling there's a lot of people here that you're dealing with self-hate. Is it aimed at someone who hurt you? Is it aimed at yourself? So you don't get right with God by trying harder. God gets right with you by you dropping that rock. And you taking Jesus' hand. So grace grows the church. Grace grows people. Grace grows families. Grace grows marriages. Grace grows you. Grace grows me. Grace grows the church. So my friends and my family of Fairlawn Church, who I love so much.
Oh, stop.
May you drop the rocks that you've been holding on to so that you can receive everything that Jesus has for you. And may you go and continue to explore this unnatural, this unthinkable mercy and grace that has been shown to you, and may you show that same mercy and grace to others so that they can see Jesus through you. Grace and peace. I love you.
Amen. Amen.